Hi everyone, Melissa here with the Creative Scrapbooker, and I am here today to show you how to create this fun layout creating folded stars. So let's switch on over to the other camera here and we will get started. So you guys, did you all have a great 4th of July? Mine was amazing. We spent the day just like having a great, my husband and I and our pup, and he did some golfing, we did some swimming, and then went and had a beer on the patio. It was a beautiful day here in Colorado. Last night we went to look at fireworks, so I have some great ideas here for you that we are able to create with. So also a great idea for this is we're going to create this page here using the current 4th of July collection from Creative Memories. But when I think of stars, I also think like school, right? And so this is using the back to school collection that you can also create the stars with. It could also be used for a great sporting event or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started. We need to have one piece of cardstock for our base. And so let's go ahead and pull out our trimmer. And I'm going to use the same, and we're going to create the same layout. So let's go ahead and cut out the inside of this piece of cardstock, leaving a frame. So we want the frame to be 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to place the edge of this at 1 1/4 inches. Then I am going to place puncture the blade, which is here aligned with this white line, and I'm going to puncture it at 1 1/4. So that means the edge of this is going to be 2 1/4. So I'm going to puncture it there. I'm going to pull it down to the bottom. So I want it to end at 1 1/4 inches. So the edge of this is going to be at 11 3/4. Okay, so that just allows you then to not cut through. So we're going to rotate doing the same thing. Puncture at 2 1/4 and go to the edge at 11 3/4. And then we're just, oh, I think I didn't go 1 1/4. That's okay. It's still going to work. So 1 1/4, 2 1/4, 11 3/4. Okay, and I went 1 inch on that one side. It's not going to matter on this time around, but we're just going to make lemonade out of lemons today. All right, so now we have the inside piece, so we're going to set that aside because we are going to be using this. And then we have our framed piece here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this paper here reminds me kind of a bomb pop, right? The idea that, or the ice cream treat that you can use with it. So we are going to be cutting this piece down to 11 1/2 by 11 1/2. And so I am going to cut 1/2 inch off of the right side. Okay. And then I'm going to rotate, and I'm actually going to take 1/2 inch off of the top, the red aspect of it there. Okay, we don't need these 2 strips, so we will just set them aside. All right, so now we're going to adhere this piece to our frame base. So we'll turn this over, and I am just going to place regular adhesive just along the edge all the way around on all 4 sides with this. And then this will adhere to the frame. Okay, so we'll just center this on top of there. leaving 1/4 of an inch around on all 4 sides. So there we go there. All right. And then we are going to create these fun stars. So let's go ahead, and we're going to need our trimmer for that. So I'm just gonna show you here the stars again. We're gonna fold them. And so let me just show you how that is going to work. So you want a piece that you like both sides of and have some contrast. So I'm going to use this piece right here, and I am going to cut 5 pieces that are 1/4 of an inch wide. Okay, so 5 pieces that are 1/4 of an inch. I need 5 stars total, so each one of these will create a star. So we'll go ahead and, again, just curious, did you guys all go watch fireworks last night? Dennis and I did. We drove. Thankfully, Porter, our dog, is not afraid or is not bothered by the sound. So we packed him up in the car and took him with us as well. All right, so now to create the stars, what I am going to do, I'm going to leave this here so you can see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here. So like down, so it's angled along the right side. Then I'm going to go up, you know, and you can vary this again, right? You can, none of these are going to look the same. So we're going to fold it like this, okay? So now we have both sides of the pattern showing. So it's just a matter of folding. Then I'm going to come down here on this lower right side and kind of fold and angle it up like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take and do the same thing here and fold it back across there, and then take and I want to make sure, right, that I'm not going to use up any more than this one strip. So I want to take this off here, and I'm going to just lift this up, that end up, and put a little bit of repositionable at the tail of that one. So I'll hold it up here for you in a second. Okay, so that is my folded star. If you want, you can take your scissors and just to make it look like it's a cohesive fold or edge there, okay? So we will go ahead and just lay it on and then we'll continue to do the rest of these. So we can make them smaller, so maybe the design doesn't go all the way up, so it gives us different sizes to work with. The other thing, if you wanted all of your stars to be different, you could use different pieces of patterned paper. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut that off. And so any of the tails that we cut off, we are not going to be needing. So we're just going to continue to just set those up there until we have all of our stars made. So again, you're going to put your tail down here at the bottom left, and then you're going to just fold your strip. And this is what I love about it, right? That there's no perfect star, if you will, and B, like the different colors and patterns gives every single one a different look. So again, so I would love to see if you guys create stars to head on over to my Facebook page and share your creation there under the post that I'm going to be making for this video. School colors would be another awesome way to use these stars. And then if I wanted, I could, you know, I've been starting with the blue side down, I could just mix it up a bit and turn it so the other side is down first, just to change up some of the coloring there. Okay. There we go. And there we have it. So we'll just cut that there. Awesome. All right. So now we're just going to kind of find a place where we want each of our stars, and I'm wanting them as much kind of on the red, maybe overlapping the white a little bit there, but it can be really any which direction you want. I might put that one there and this one here. All right, so I'm not going to adhere them quite yet. Let's go ahead and cut our pieces that we need to for our photo mounting. We might decide our stars need to be a little bit placed differently. So let's go ahead and cut our mats. Now I'm going to be using the Firecracker Red shimmer paper, and we are going to cut one piece that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 for the larger photo base there. And then we are going to be cutting 2 pieces that are 3 1/2 by 5. So we can, this is the bottom piece of what I just cut, so I can cut a 3 1/2 and then by 5. And then I'm gonna cut one more that is 3 1/2 by 5. Okay, so we'll put that one by 5 inches. So this will allow you either 3 vertical photos or 3 horizontal photos. Then we're going to pull the inside back out that we cut out from the cardstock, and we are going to be cutting now a double mat. So we're going to start by cutting the first one at 4 inches by 6 inches. I always love double matting, and that's a preference for you if you liked to or not. And then I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm actually going to cut the length first on this one. So 4 3/4. And then I'm going to rotate this and cut at 3 1/4. And then another one at 3 1/4. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and adhere our mats together. So we're going to be using the Firecracker Red shimmer paper as the base of these, and then we'll just place the cardstock on top of this. All right. I love having you guys here. Hello, Miss Martha and Kimberly and Victoria. Say hey if you're here. Okay. And then one last doubled mat there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and pull our base back out, and I am going to be, again, my stars aren't quite, I mean, we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to place this bottom, or this center one, the larger one, and then I can do one of 2 things. I can either go ahead and, I think I need maybe to move that center one just a hair. And I'm kind of like rounding them a little bit. Okay, and so I'm kind of rounding those, the points here stick out. I can either put these on top of this larger one in the center, or I can tuck it behind. It kind of also depends a little bit on your photo and your, depending on which photos, as to whether or not they can kind of sort of be tucked behind like that. But I literally am just going to lift these up. Let's see, this one I'll turn over here and again, kind of center that one there. And then we'll tuck this one behind here. So the bottom edges kind of flow together nicely. And then you see that kind of white, those V's in there, kind of equal parts there. So then we're just going to turn, you see they're folded pieces. We're just going to turn it over and put a little bit of repositionable on the back of each of the points. And then I've got to figure out where I started now on this one. There we go, this way. Okay, and then I'm just gonna place these where I want them. I am so glad, Miss Martha, you thought my stars aligned. Hi, Sheila. Good to see you. Okay, then we'll go up here. So when we are adding elements like this to our layouts, we want to do so in odd numbers. And so I do have obviously odd numbers with 5 stars here. So kind of fun to, and like I said, again, you guys, none of these stars are going to be identical. They are all going to be a little bit different. Based on how and where you fold them, and you do want them to be different sizes. So that tail there, I need to get back in line. There we go. They're imperfect stars. Okay, then we'll, so you see I kind of, like arched it, if you will, around it. So now let's go ahead and embellish. And this is my favorite part, you guys. So I love being able to add a border onto, in this case, we're gonna add it on like here on the bottom. So we could do the banners. In this case, I'm gonna use this one. I really feel like this is a great one, but I don't want it to go across the entire length. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm going to cut off and round kind of just one of those off of there. Now, if I wanted, I could go ahead and place this just straight over. But if you guys know Melissa at all, you know that Melissa loves her foam squares. And so I am just going to take and go every other one on the backs of these. And then I'm going to show you. So you might say, well, I don't have my pictures on here yet. Well, that is okay, because if I take and just take off the foam squares from the 2 ends, not the center ones, not the center, and I place it straight across using the bottom edge of that center photo, kind of as my guide, and centering that. Now, if you have photos that need to be placed here and were to go under here, do you see here? Those aren't stuck down. So your photos can go behind it, and then you can take the backs off, or you can just leave them. Once you have it on in your album page, these aren't going to move around. They are anchored by these pieces here. So I'm still going to use kind of the triangle effect, if you will, so I used the 4th of July, so I just needed one piece there, and I could use the same one again, But what if we used America the Beautiful? Or this one could be placed up along, that doesn't add very much contrast there. So let's go back and see what we have. I do also Having a Blast, Picnic and Parties, like any of these would work really nice for a title here, Picnics and Parties, because then this allows us again to, so I like to cut my foam squares in half, kind of placing them where I need them to get a little bit more use out of them. Go ahead and add those. But what I'm gonna do now is, again, leave the backs on the ones that are gonna go up here and take the bottoms off. Okay, and then I'll just place that there. So the top ones don't have the backs off of, so I literally can just, again, place those photos behind, and then I can peel the backs off of once I do that. So then I have that. I'm gonna work again, like I said, in my triangle. I'm just gonna take one of these off, you guys, just to hold it down in place so you can see it okay. And then, you know, let's use some of these banners. We can do happy. Just kind of looking at my different options here. I have a full sheet here that we could look at. So what happens if we took and, you know, some of the balloons here, right? But maybe not covering up our stars, or we could move this star a little bit further up if we wanted to, but let's just leave that. Okay, so I've got the balloons, and then my happy, let's go ahead and pop up on foam squares. And so like so, and then we could just add a simple like star here, right? Just another, and this one I don't have any small foam squares left on my sheet, so I'm just going to cut this down into fourths in case you need some smaller ones. We'll place that on the back, and then we can add, actually, you know what? As I'm adding that, I'm thinking we've got a lot of stars already. What happens if we instead use one of the firecrackers here, or we could do that. And I apologize, they are doing our yard work and he's outside my window right now. So we could just go ahead and add that there, the fireworks. Okay, so now we've got our 2 points of our triangle. Our third point of our triangle will add up here. So we've got our bottom third, our middle third. Now we need something on the top, and we have our left third, our center third. So now we're gonna need something like on the top, but to the right. So anything that we can do, we could add another cluster of balloons. We could add another cluster of balloons down here. We can lift this up. And so we've got balloons in a couple of clusters. We kind of have some, you know, areas in which we can work with. So I like to put my foam squares, and then I'll just lay them where I might like them first, to just kind of see if I do like them there. So right, and then I could go summer days, summer nights. We could do both summer days and summer nights, and put those all up in that space there. If you run out of, or even any other time, right, if you need to add to your foam squares, you can use foam tape as well. I like to cut smaller pieces off of foam tape as well. So we could do summer days and summer nights kind of off of the balloon and that star up there. Then the other thing I want to point out is this collection has on the sticker sheet these itty bitty tiny white stars. So we could add these kind of throughout. We'll just kind of place them throughout our layout here. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have right now. But you can pull off all those little guys that you have on your, and then there's also some on the words that are bigger, smaller, whichever you want there. But everything looks like I want it where I want it in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the foam squares off of the balloons. And I'll place that there. And then the strings of the balloons, I'm just gonna flatten. Okay, just flatten those down. And then we'll take it off of the summer days. So I kind of want these all attached together to be clustered together. Summer days and summer nights. Just kind of offset that one there a little bit on foam squares. So you see there we have created a very simple layout. So again, you can do 4th of July, sporting events. Here's one using the back to school collection that I absolutely love. So if you guys have liked what I have shared with you today, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow me for continued ideas that I share here on my YouTube channel. So I appreciate you guys all for being here today. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to